This is WFAN's Outside the Cage. And sorry, folks, this is not Pete Hoffman. He is on his wedding. Congratulations, Pete. Right now, you'll be enjoying your honeymoon. I hope we'll get in touch with you when you run off to the bathroom and give us a couple minutes. But we are joined by the most intriguing event, fighter half of the co-main event. Not Michelle Waterson. It won't be Demetrius Johnson or Wilson Heiss, but the most intriguing fighter for UFC on Fox 24 this Saturday, April 15th. Rose Namajunas. Just kidding. You probably get that a lot. Rose Namajunas. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's interesting to hear everybody's different pronunciations of it. So
especially with
thanks for getting it right.
The New York slang now, right? You're
yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Rose? Rose Namajunas.
Yeah, it does roll off the tongue that way.
But anyway, it's fight week. So how was the camp and how's the weight?
The camp is really good. I finally bought a house and moved in, and everything's like just really smooth. I love my place. I'm really close to my gym, so everything was like super convenient. And now everything's under one roof versus I can think back not too long ago, just going from gym to gym, and it messes up your routine. So this training camp was really smooth. If I could describe it in one word, I'd say it was smooth.
Nice. And when you mean everything under one roof, that means your coaches and all your training?
Yeah, because previously my striking coach was at one other gym and my jiu-jitsu coach is at another. So my striking coach got rid of his gym, and he just wants to focus on, his main fighters. And he also has a business where he custom makes gloves and
Trevor Whitman,
ship
right?
it. Yeah, Trevor Whitman. Yeah,
loved him season 10 with Rashad.
Yeah,
is he always this intense? Because I saw him in season 10, and then I studied some of your tapes with him, and this dude keeps it 100. He's like always positive. Is that how he is in?
We call him Posy T because he is like overly positive. And then we have my other coach Tony Vasily, and he's like, we call him Negi T because he's always like through the other lens, he's always like just points out the negative and things. So we have a good balance. And then we got Captain P, or Pat Barry is my my mental
never heard of him
coach. Yeah, he's kind of more of like the philosopher of my fights, and it's just a great dynamic I got going on.
I appreciate Pat for his thinking and his thoughts. He's one of the wittiest guys I've ever heard on the mic. Like, he knows exactly what to say and what to respond.
Yeah.
And tell me if I'm far off. Is he the A personality and you're the B personality in the relationship?
So like type A, are you talking about like, is that what you mean?
Like,
or
he has to be on time all the time. Like, that's
okay.
my girlfriend.
That's me. I gotta be on time. Well, I guess it depends on what you mean, because he is OCD about like particular things. Like whatever I'm kind of lax on, he's totally like, no, it has to be like this, and then the reverse on other things. But in terms of training, he's very, what should I say? Very general. He's just like, just shut the F up and just do it, I'm not sure what radio station now, but yeah, he's just like, just shut the fuck up, just do it, and then whereas I'm like, no, wait, but break it down specifically, and that's what's great with Trevor Whitman too, is that he's very detail oriented. So like I said, we got a great balance of just like everything in the camp.
That's perfect. How's he been since his post-fight career? How's he doing? I heard in a recent interview that he gets the edge and gets the tick, and obviously some of the retired fighters that we have in here, they always say the same thing. They get the tick for when they go to these events.
Yeah, for sure. He's always ready to fight, Pat is. But, his body's taking a toll, being in the heavyweight division and stuff. And he's had a lot of fights and a lot of wars. So, I could see him coming back for maybe one or two more, but at the same time, it's definitely not like something that has to happen either. Like, I think he's really enjoying being a coach, but I mean, it's never going to be, it's just different. You're never going to get quite that scratch that adventure itch, if that makes any sense. When you get out there and have to go to war with somebody, it's just different. I think you'll always, if once a fighter, you'll always be a fighter, and your body's just not gonna be able to keep up with you. But I think he'll want to come back maybe for one more. But like I said, that's not for sure.
All right, we got some clickbait.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
But you got?
Yeah. So Rosa, you're gonna have any UFC babies in the future?
UFC babies?
Yeah.
I like it, right to the point.
I mean, yeah, I was asked this earlier, like, would I be okay if, like, say, if I had a daughter and she wanted to fight?
Yeah.
Whatever my kids want to do in the future, obviously, so Pat, don't get too excited. Listen to, no, just kidding. But if I want them to, whatever they're doing, I want them to at least know jiu-jitsu and some striking and stuff like that and be able to defend themselves. But of course they're going to have prime genetics. And I think a lot of, other generations come up. But man, it's crazy to see the newer generations of fighters coming up. Like they're learning everything all at once versus like I started in Taekwondo and then I got into other things. And so, yeah.
It's crazy. You talk about teaching your kids the base jiu-jitsu and maybe to defend themselves. You took the ultimate leap. You were wrestling on the men's high school team? Is that correct?
Yeah. I did one season, kind of, like, because I was working a job and I was doing all these other things at the same time. But I wanted to at least get some, like, because I knew I was going to be a fighter. So, and that's what all the other fighters were doing was like, wrestling at the time. And so I was like, oh, I guess I should. It's my senior year. I had only 1 year of school left, so I took advantage of it. What's that?
Any pins?
Yeah, I did, actually. I got a few pins. And then I'm trying to think. I got pinned a few times. But not that many, though. My first match, we went to like some farmland out in Wisconsin, and these guys were just like jacked, and I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? I got just like wiped across the ground, but I did not get pinned that time. So
awesome.
Yeah, made me
Again,
tough.
we're joined by Rose Namajunas, not Namajunas. She will kill you. This Saturday night, the co-main event, April 15th, free on Big Fox, people. Big Fox, UFC on Fox, headlined by DJ versus Wilson Heiss. So you're facing a karate fighter. Obviously, it's in her name, the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson. But doing the research, you actually started Taekwondo a couple of years before. Is this a point of interest that you want to go out there and maybe throw a few less punches and maybe a few more kicks to prove something?
I'm never going out to prove anything necessarily to anybody in a fight. But, like I said, this stylistic matchup really intrigued me. Always. I've always been a fan of Michelle growing up and stuff like that, or watching her come up or whatever. But yeah, I think she's going to want to kick more, and I think that I always believe in my hands. I think my jab is the best in the division, and it's going to be really hard to get around. So that's always first and foremost. But yeah, whatever else falls into place after that, I'm open to throwing tornado kicks and flying side kicks and flying arm bars, everything. I throw everything. It's just it has to be at the right time.
Awesome. And I saw that you were actually on the undercard for an event that she was headlining in Invicta. And we talked to Sergio, we talked to Cody before champion, and they said they study the champion. It was just film in the back of their head for eventually they knew they would fight him, like that Conor McGregor belief, like believe it and it will happen. I'm not going to do an Irish impression. But obviously, did you see her fight that night? And was she always on your radar that somebody you wanted to fight in the future?
I don't know so much as like I wanted to fight her at that time, or not that I didn't want to fight her, I should say. I didn't know if we were going to fight because I thought she was the atom weight at the time when she was, but I didn't think she was going to move up. But then all of a sudden when it just kind of later on it occurred to me when she got into UFC, I was like, yeah, that's my eye was on her at that point. But I've always like studied her, and then going to Jackson's, I trained with her a little bit. So it's just somebody that not so much like I see myself fighting, but I try and study everybody, whether I fight them or not, just because you can learn something from everybody.
Does it piss you off that she's getting bringing in obviously the Asia market, maybe getting a little more attention, and you got more Twitter followers?
Oh, wait, she has more. Wait, what's that?
Does it piss you off that maybe she's getting a little more attention for this?
Yeah.
She's doing the modeling, obviously.
Yeah,
you Google her, you don't see her with gloves, you see her in a bikini more than anything.
Oh, no, it don't bother me. I think whatever you got to do to make yourself known and get yourself, I think it's great, like the more attention that she gets, the more attention I'm going to get, and vice versa, because it's just better. It's just better for everybody. There's enough to go around. Too much love.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Anything, Kara?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you also your future plans after fighting in the UFC, because the longevity is not as prevalent in this industry. So I wanted to know, what were your plans after?
So I have a deep affection for nature and animals and things like that. And I recently just got into, I was following this thing called Earthshift Biotecture for a long time. Okay. And they're a group where they build sustainable houses where they try to build them here, but it's too difficult because of all these building codes and stuff. So they go to third world countries where people need it. And they just go around the world building houses and things like that. And so I did that for a month in Indonesia. And it was a really cool learning experience to see totally night and day difference between the way we live here in America and the way they live there. And so that's something that I'm really interested in. I don't know if that might be one of the things that I do, but I definitely want to spread whatever I learned there to my own community and try and kind of make this world a better place.
That's awesome. That's really amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So is Pat gonna be like? Is he totally on board for this?
Yeah, he was in Indonesia with me. You know, nice. He barely made it, but we had some bumps and bruises along the way, but it made us stronger. It was fun. You should watch Thug Diaries on YouTube. There's we document the whole thing.
Love the production on it. You guys is that your favorite music? Do you like rap? Do you like hip hop, or do you like rock, techno?
I like all kinds of music, honestly. I'm a pianist ever since I was a little girl, and I went to high school of the arts, and we played piano or whatever art area you were in for 2 hours a day, and so I'm well versed in all kinds of music, so jazz, classical, soul or whatever, just everything.
So what's your go-to song before a fight to pump you up?
Well, to pump me up is a different story, but beforehand I like R&B and things that I can listen or that I can sing to. But anything that I can dance to, like beats and stuff, like that's my stuff. Anything that gets you moving. People Under the Stairs is a great, just like a good hip hop group.
Okay.
Yeah, People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll check it out. Check Rose out this Saturday, April 15th, UFC on Fox 24. She's the co-main event. Rose Namajunas on Twitter. Spell it correctly, please. Versus Michelle Waterson. So is there any prediction before we let you go?
I say first round knockout.
Fantastic, folks. You got it. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you,
Rose.